My son contacted me after 17 years, asking if I wanted to meet my grandson. I told him I didn't care about either of them and to never call again. I'm in my 60s now. The years have a way of smoothing sharp edges into dull aches you forget you're carrying until something cuts you open all over again. I was married once. We had a son. The marriage was crumbling slowly, the way foundations crack beneath houses nobody bothers to inspect. But I loved my boy. I loved him in that fierce, uncomplicated way you love someone before you ruin everything. Then I ruined everything. There was someone at work, a colleague, a friend first, then something else. She was trapped in a marriage that had turned cold and controlling, and I think we both mistook our loneliness for something it wasn't. The affair was brief. It ended badly, but she got out of her situation, and I've never regretted helping her do that, even if the cost was everything else. My husband found out. The divorce was swift and surgical, but what he did after was worse than anything the lawyers could manage. He sat our 15-year-old son down and told him exactly what kind of person I was. He didn't just tell him I cheated. He made sure my son understood that I had chosen someone else over our family, over him, and my son believed it. He stopped answering my calls, stopped coming to visits. When I showed up at his school, he walked past me like I was invisible. The last time we spoke, he stood in my driveway and said he was done, that I wasn't his mother anymore, that he never wanted to see me again. I fought for a year, sent letters, showed up at soccer games, left voicemails on birthdays. Then I stopped. I told myself it was mercy, that he deserved peace. But really, I just couldn't keep breaking my own heart every week. I heard through mutual friends that my ex remarried. Someone kind, someone stable. I thought maybe that would soften things, that my son might feel safe enough to reach out. But 17 years passed, and he never did. I moved across the country. My parents died. My younger sister died in a car accident 3 winters ago. I retired early. Got a dog, started painting, made peace with the idea that I would die estranged from the only child I ever had. Then last Thursday, my phone rang. Unknown number. I almost didn't answer, but I did, and I heard my son's voice for the first time in 17 years. I didn't cry. I didn't feel relief or joy or even sadness. I felt nothing, like hearing a language I used to speak fluently, but had completely forgotten. He was crying, apologizing, telling me about his life in hurried overlapping sentences like he was afraid I'd hang up. He's married. He has a son who just turned 11. His stepdad had recently passed away, and before he died, he told my son that cutting me off was the biggest regret he'd watched him carry, that he should reach out before it was too late. My grandson, he said, kept asking about me, kept asking why he didn't have a grandmother on his dad's side like the other kids at school. I want you to meet him, Mom, he said. His voice cracked on the word mom, like it didn't fit in his mouth anymore. I want us to try again. Please. And I don't know what happened. Maybe it was the shock. Maybe it was all the years of scar tissue that had built up so thick I couldn't feel anything underneath. Maybe it was just cruelty. But I said, I don't care about you. I don't care about your son. Don't contact me again. And I hung up. I sat in my kitchen for 2 hours staring at the wall. My dog pressed her nose into my lap, and I didn't move. The sun set. The room went dark. I didn't turn on a light. The next morning I called him back. I didn't expect him to answer, but he picked up on the first ring like he'd been holding the phone since yesterday. I'm sorry, I said. My voice sounded like gravel. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean any of that. He was quiet for a long time. Then he said, it's okay, Mom. I deserved it. No, you don't get to do that. You were 15. You were a kid. My throat was closing. I'm the one who's sorry for all of it. He started crying again. So did I. We talked for 3 hours. Can we visit? He asked. Before you go, can we come see you? I gave him my address, told him my door was open any time in the next 4 months. He said he'd come next week, with his husband, with his son. Can we stay a few days? His voice was so small. You can stay as long as you want, I said. There's more than enough room. He arrived on a Saturday. I watched from the porch as the car pulled into the driveway. My son stepped out first. He's taller than I remembered, broader in the shoulders, but his eyes are the same. Then a little boy climbed out of the back seat. Dark curly hair, gap-toothed smile. He looked right at me and said, "Are you Grandma?" And something inside me that had been frozen for 17 years finally cracked wide open. Yes, I said, I am. He ran up the porch steps and hugged me without hesitation, without fear, like I'd been there his whole life, like I hadn't missed everything. My son stood at the bottom of the steps watching. His husband's hand was on his shoulder. Come inside, I said. My voice shook. Please, come inside, and they did.